This is IGN. The Ace of Spades. This is your IGN review of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 by Luke Riley. The Birdman is back, and he's once again 540 Christ-airing his way into my house and into my heart, like some kind of majestic Motorhead-fueled messiah of manuals, methods, and Madonnas. As the follow-up to 2020's absolutely delightful remake of the first two Pro Skater games, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 may lack the outright initial novelty of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, and it definitely colors outside the lines a bit more while bringing these classics back to life. But it's also impossible for me to deny how infectiously fun it is being transported back to 2001 for some authentically old-school arcade skating action. The pleasure is to play, barks Lemmy Kilmister in the iconic speed metal masterpiece Ace of Spades, which was the high-energy opener for the original more than 2 decades ago and returns to do the same job in 3 and 4. You're damn right it is, Lemmy. 5 years ago, developer Vicarious Visions achieved the improbable with Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Despite the stench of Robomoto's disastrous Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 still lingering in the air like a swampy pair of SB dunks, Vicarious Visions produced one of the most pitch-perfect and essential remakes of the modern era, one that would go on to record the highest first month of sales for any game in the long-running Tony Hawk series. For its valiant efforts, Vicarious Visions was promptly shut down, and Hawks confirmed plans to produce Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 were subsequently kick-flipped to the curb. Fortunately, this decision was reversed, and the project landed at Iron Galaxy. Despite having a different developer at the helm, 3 and 4 remains mostly in sync with the look and structure of 1 and 2. That is, the graphics are similarly crisp and colorful, and the performance is robust and reliable. The skate roster is a mix of returning pros from the original games, the new additions from 1 and 2, and some fresh faces debuting in the series, including Chloe Cavell, Yuto Horigome, Haisa Leal, and Zion Wright, amongst others. Yes, Bam Margera is here too. He may be absent from the intro sizzle, but you'll be able to find him in the unlockable secrets. Despite having a different developer at the helm, 3 and 4 remains mostly in sync with the look and structure of 1 and 2. Both games in the package are again represented as 2 separate strings of levels, but beyond that, everything is unified. Moves and tricks are common across both games, including things like, say, spine transfers, which were only originally introduced in 4. On top of that, the stat points you collect playing one game will improve your skater in the other, and any currency you gather goes to one central kitty to spend on kit for your custom skater, or secret skaters, fancy effects, or special visual filters. Basically, if you played 1 and 2, you'll know what to expect, but even if you haven't, I anticipate you'll catch on quickly to the neat and tidy 2-for-1 philosophy at work. The magic lives in its levels, and despite a couple of apparent absences, the marvelously remade maps are the stars of the show. As was the case with 1 and 2, it's just so charming to be carving and comboing my way through such familiar geometry, only with a slick and modern overhaul. From feeling the heat of the molten metal in Foundry to ascending the levels of Alcatraz, unlocking and arriving in each returning map has been a huge highlight. Airport is still an impeccable string of skate lines. Cruise ship is still a wonderfully Moorish challenge to score crazy combos without cannonballing into the Caribbean. It's great stuff. Kona still suffers from parts of its real-world inspired layout being a bit of a plain space for the zany arcade skating of a Tony Hawk's game, and London's shift to night seems to make it a little more boring to look at, but there aren't really any complete duds here aside from the zoo, which has been turned into a tournament level. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is a largely successful rejuvenation of the acclaimed 2001 and 2002 originals, and another very welcome time capsule of everything great about the golden age of early 2000s gaming, before microtransactions and battle passes botched everything right up. Like 2020's 1 and 2 before it, 3 and 4 proves again the series' over-the-top skateboarding formula is totally timeless and remains suitable for all skill levels. Simple at first blush, but extraordinarily sophisticated beneath the surface for those with the minerals or the muscle memory to push their combos to colossal levels. However, syncing with the classic 2-minute timer of the initial trilogy is probably going to be a sore point with fans who strongly regard the series' fourth installment as their favorite, and discarding a whopping 80% of the original soundtracks is a startlingly naive choice to make about such a famously crucial component of those games. No TNT? Watch me explode. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4's IGN score? 8 out of 10. Thanks for listening to IGN. My name is Tony Jackson, and for the latest gaming updates, visit us at IGN.com.
Spoken Layer.